Yo, what is going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be reviewing the two maps that were just added to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War in today's Season 1 update. That is, of course, Raid, as well as The Pines, which is, of course, the mall map. So, of course, one of them is new, and one of them is a remake of course, Black Ops 2's Raid. Now, I gotta say right off the bat, I'm really enjoying Season 1 as a whole. There are some things I'm disappointed about, and we'll get into that in maybe future videos. But as a whole, in terms of Warzones, especially Warzone stuff, I'm absolutely loving the Warzone update. Multiplayer, I'm enjoying the majority of it. I'm actually really having a lot of fun with multiplayer. I think they fixed a lot of the frame rate issues that I've been having recently because I haven't really noticed many issues. So, of course, skill-based matchmaking is still kind of annoying. I still don't love certain things about the game, but as a whole, I was having more fun than I've really had in a long time in Cold War, and the maps might have been part of that because I will get into the maps in a second. They are very, very good. Zombies is unfortunately, the update for zombies was just bad. I'll just be honest with you. We're not going to even do a video on the zombie stuff because they literally just added a new mode that just changes the map. It makes it look like Christmas themed, but you can't even do Easter eggs on it. I don't know. It's not that special. I think they could have done a lot of other things for zombies, but the cosmetics they added in the shop are really cool. Some of the battle pass stuff is pretty cool. Some of it, not all of it. But today, we're going to be talking about the maps that were added. I'm going to start off with Raid, and then we'll get into the Pines later. There's definitely a lot more to talk about with the Pines because it's actually a new map, as opposed to Raid being a remake. Now, there also is, of course, the Holiday Nuketown, but that's just, a different themed version of Nuketown, which we've already seen in this game, so it's not really anything too new. But it was pretty fun when I did play on it. Nuketown's always fun, so you can't go wrong with that. But here we have, obviously, Raid, and it plays just like Raid did in Black Ops 2, and honestly, I think it works very, very well in Cold War. The one issue I did have was when I was using the gun, the chopper gunner, it was really hard to see enemies. The visibility wasn't very good. I don't know if it was always like that. I don't think it really was, to be honest, because, use a VTOL in Black Ops 2, you'd usually be pretty okay on this map. There is a decent amount of indoor space, sure, but it was bad visibility, I don't know. But regardless, it's Black Ops 2 Raid. This is one of my favorite maps of all time. It has been for a long time. I still would put it as my second favorite map, right behind Nuketown in the entirety of Call of Duty's history. So when I heard it was coming back, I got really damn excited, and I'm glad it's here. And I really hope that they do add some other sort of maps that were, I guess, fan favorited throughout, Black Ops history. I think some World of War maps could be pretty cool as well, but they didn't really change how the map looks at all. It just kind of has different cars and such, but I think that's fine. I don't really need them to completely change the look of the map. I'm not that type of person where I'm like, oh, I need the map to look completely different. No, it's honestly okay the way it is. Raid already looked really beautiful, so I was completely okay with them adding it word for word exactly how it was in BO2, and that is exactly what they did. So Raid is Raid. It's fun. It plays just like it did in Black Ops 2, as I said before, and it's already one of the best maps in this game just because of the fact that it's Raid. Of course, next up we have in the Pines, or I just call it the mall map, to be honest. I don't really care to call it the Pines, I think is what it's actually called. But this map, I love. I do, I gotta say. And I've seen a lot of hate on it already on Twitter. Let's be real here. Everyone hates everything these days. I went over this in my last video. COD community hates everything. So no matter what they're gonna add, they're gonna get hated on pretty harshly. But this map, to me, it is a little bit big. It is probably a little bit smaller than Miami. I don't think it's as big as Miami, but it's still, relatively bigger than most maps. But the reason why it still plays pretty fast-paced is because the spawns are actually really good. I don't know what it is, but at least in my lobbies, I've probably played it about 7 or 8 times at this point, maybe 10, something like that, I don't know. The spawns have been very, very good. They've been spawning me, not too close to enemies, but close enough to the point where I get back in the action relatively quickly. I'm always seeing enemies, and when I'm not seeing enemies, I'm not really annoyed because I know exactly where I can go to get to them. I kind of have a general idea as to how the map's designed. A map like Piccadilly was really bad in Modern Warfare because the map wasn't really designed in a linear fashion. It was designed kind of randomly, so it was you have no idea where the enemies can be. They can be literally anywhere, hiding behind corners, or it doesn't matter. There's no flow to it, you know what I mean? This map has a clear flow to it. Although it is big, I think it still plays fine because the spawns work. I do think this map could work in combined arms 12v12. I kind of hope they add it. I think they will eventually, just like they did with Miami and Cartel. I don't think it needs to be taken out of 6v6 like a lot of people have said. That doesn't really make much sense to me. Miami, could probably be taken out of 6v6 for sure, but Miami has an issue of also being a little bit too big compared to this and a little bit too open, and also doesn't have nearly as good as flow as what this map has. Miami's flow isn't that great. It's not bad, but it's not great. This map is very, very three-laned, but it's kind of three-laned in a slanted sense, and I really like that. And that, I didn't even get started on the aesthetic of the map. The aesthetic's the best part. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful map. Just looking around the stores, I mean, I haven't gotten to custom games yet, but I'm probably going to do that just so I can spend some time just to look at all the little details and all the little things around the map, because it is so cool. Like, you could hear music playing in all the different stores. Some of the music's from like Zombies. They have like, I think Archangel from Origins was playing in one of the stores, which was really cool. You had a couple other songs playing throughout the store. I think it's a really well done map in terms of the detail and the aesthetics, and I would love to have seen it in Zombies because of that. I've always wanted a mall map for a long time. I think a mall makes perfect sense. We've had, you know, similar things to mall maps before. I mean, you have Arcaden from Modern Warfare 3, which was like this European mall, but it wasn't as cool as like a 80s, you know, New Jersey mall. That's what I think makes it so special, is because of that aesthetic to it. But the map itself even plays fine. Like, Miami's got a great aesthetic to it, but the map doesn't play all that well. But to me, this map plays pretty well. Again, it's not perfect. I don't think many maps are perfect, but I think the best modes for it currently, I think Hardpoint played probably the best. And Hardpoint tends to play the best on bigger maps, usually because it's going to, you know, center the action to one location. Just like Miami. Honestly, Miami Hardpoint's not that bad. It's Miami Domination that people didn't really like too much, especially like Kill Confirm, Team Deathmatch. But Miami Hardpoint was honestly never that bad, and same with here. It gives all the action to one location because all the enemies are now, you know, being forced to go to one specific place. So the action's kind of just centered around that. You know what I mean? Instead of it being centered around 3 points on the map like it would in Domination or in TDM, where there's nothing being centered anywhere and it's kind of just go around the map and try to find people. So that's why I love Hardpoint. Hardpoint's been one of my favorite modes in this game currently, and I've just been having a blast with it. That's why I love Combined Arms Assault as well, because Combined Arms Assault also does that same thing where it like centers all the action into one specific place. I think those modes are always the best. So yeah, I'm loving these maps. All I gotta say really with that, I would have loved to have at least one other new map. It's kind of unfortunate we didn't get that. I don't even think we're going to be getting that within the, you know, the mid-season or anything. They didn't say anything about that. They did say we'll be getting another fire team map though, so that's nice, but I don't know. I think I would have liked to have at least one more 6v6 map. There was leaked maps like that we didn't get, like a Vietnam map was supposed to come apparently, as well as I think it was a desert map called Dune or something, and neither of those seem to be coming for season 1, so either those were delayed for season 2 or they're canceled, or I don't know, maybe they were always going to come for season 2 and they were just in the files a little bit earlier. But a Vietnam 6v6 map would have been pretty damn cool to have, I would say. But you know, it is what it is. I can't get everything I want. I'm not the type of person to freak out about quantities. If I can't get the exact number of maps I want, so be it. There's still a lot of other stuff this update. You got prop hunt, you got gunfight, you got the Warzone stuff. There's a lot to mess with, so I don't think it's really a big deal to complain about it a lot. But they got to give us, you know, this new stuff sooner than rather than later. You know what I mean? Because I would still like some more maps and guns and stuff. Because yes, this game does lack content even after this season 1 update, for sure. I think it still does, but it's getting more now. You know, it's getting more enjoyable, and I think it's really telling that the game is really solid if it's still fun, even with the lack of content that it has. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.